And I'm Duksu. I'm one of the bada evangelists. I'm working for helping the people to develop the application with bada, yeah, online and offline manners, all do. Yeah, so we started to think about bada develop the environment, but before that, I got a lot of questions. So, watch bada platforms from you guys. But I just have a curious that what's the platform actually? What's the platform? Do you guys all the working with the platform? Does somebody have the answer of the platform? No? Nobody? It's you working with the platform, right? So what's the platform? Can I get the answer from you? No? I mean the platform. What's mean the platform? What's your opinion?
I take the micro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Yes, we develop a sports application and bada is also a platform for us that we can support more devices.
I mean the meaning of the platform. What do you think about that? The platform.
I don't know the question.
I mean the meaning of the platform. You know, we call the bada platform, another platform is BlackBerry or something. So what is the platform I should think about? Okay. So I think the we called about the bada platform. So I actually think about what is the platform, because this could be the platform, right? You can use it, make good things like good things for like a product to share the value to the people. The customer, that could be a platform, right? Nobody agree with that? Is that a good opinion? Not? Yeah. I think it's about that I like to say we are, we like to very eager to share the value with the developers and business partners, because you share the value over the bada platform, the bada is growing and the value is bigger. And we still make a more and bigger platform where you bring the customer to the applicant developers and business partners. Then they can get a more value with the bada platform. Share the value to the people, giving the imagination and your passion, anything you can share. And they can make more value. It's a very good synergy effect for us. So for that, we prepare and serve the development environment of the bada for making you convenient to develop your application. Okay. I think you all agree, right? Yeah, I guess this content from overview and develop tools in SK and IDE from design to develop deployment. This kind of general process of the application developing, I think, and summary a little bit. Yeah, and before that, I think I go through the overview of the bada platform's development environment. Yeah, I think it's develop the SDK IDE. It's the key to into the platform for making application or making the libraries to sell your library to the developers in other company, and other things is a chance. And then this SKID is key to dive into bada as for the bada application developer and the business partner. So it's a key. It's open the door. So you need to know about a little bit SK and ID at the first time. Yeah, somebody is at the very first time with bada, right? It's all guys is familiar with the bada, but some guys not. Yeah. So basically, some the people here doesn't any the experience of bada, I'll tell you about. We use the based on the C++ language and Eclipse IDE, and we told you about the JS framework. We call it JavaScript framework. You can use the JavaScript for make application at bada 2.0. We support kind of that way. We're focused on the web application development. They're going to be bada application. Yeah, we support more on that. You got an idea from the previous slides, so the presentation. Yeah, I don't tell you about more. So this is about the class platform supporting. Our SKID will be ported to other OS like Linux, the Mac OS from Windows. It's a lot of the voice from the developer. They want to use it. Some developers and company, they have the laptop with operating system like a Linux or the Mac. They prefer to use it or already have it to make it the last cost for getting into the bada. So we prepare that, but not at the bada 2.0 is after that. But we are really seriously working on that, underground of the platform. So we will do for that. So your voice is very, very carefully handled by our platform team. Right? I just simply tell you about, everyone is familiar with it, except someone who, the experience of development. But I think this all guys is familiar with it. I just quickly say that. Start with the design, I think. And generally is going to be subtle, like from the coding, building, testing. It won't work, and coding, building, testing. It won't work, and coding, building, testing. If it's not working at all, and then coding and building, testing, right? Yeah, somebody agreed with it, right? But some genius guys just got tested one time, right? So this genius guys is nothing else. And after that, you are convinced that your application working very well over the platform, and you convinced that you share the value of your application to the customer. Then you time deployment, package it to upload to the Samsung application store to start it, make a profession the value, or do something, whatever you want. We provide, everything for you to do that. Right. Let's go through development tools. SKID from at each development page. This is design. What is helping things for you? Yeah, the animation is ongoing. Like it? Yeah. Thank you. Somebody like it. It's about the UI component. Looks like UI component is right side. You can drag it over this UI screen. This UI is made up. So you need to drag and drop and set a property of the size and the colors and the background image or something like that. Then made the pages of your application is made with the UI builder. It's helping things for your design. Right? And I want to tell you one more that it's saved the XML file. So you can load up XML file when you need it about your page of the UI. So, for example, if you want to take a different UI looks in a different country, you can make it with it. And then some point you want to show different UI, then you load it another XML UI. So UI can be loaded up, as you want. Add each of XML, as you want, at the timing of you want. So you can prepare the several XML, load it up at each time, for your wanting things. Going to create it's a coding page. What is happening things is this. We prepared the application wizard. Actually, we prepared several templates for application and library development. So for the application, So we prefer, just general applications. And for the Flash application, it's some company or developer just having the Flash content and just like to bring into. And we made a skeleton to that. So you just simply put your Flash content and setting the property a little bit, change the link coding is enough to publish your Flash applications. And some things of web applications is more improved at bada 2.0. We told you the JavaScript framework. Only you use the JavaScript programming, you can make a bada application. We support JavaScript, the language, with Web 2.0 is a function like file fetching kind of functions. With the kind of standard of Web 2.0, you can use our platform's functionalities and features. And also, more than that, we provide JavaScript API for the bada UI framework. So you can handling the bada UI with the JavaScript code. That means only with the JavaScript you can make applications like news application, information weather application with a nice look. UI identical generation. When you develop your application, but always you need to handle your event. For example, you click the buttons, you need to handle the event. But making the body of the event handler's source code, we made a body for you. So when you right click on the UI page and set up what you need, what you want to be handling, what kind of event handler that the body is generated from that tools. So it's helping a little bit convenient for your coding of your bada application. And in a building space, simply put your things like icon, loading screen, we call it splash. Maybe splash is maybe the familiar term for you. And other things are setting up, but it's most likely not need to the setting up your building options. But sometimes you need it. You can set your building options like that, and then setting up and doing things is only things you need for the click the build project and make a executable binary that can be working with our simulator and working with your target device like a Wave or Wave 2 and other devices of Wave family. I emphasize on it. Okay? Can you see that? Right? Isn't it cute? No? Well, this is just one click enough to build the object after setting up icons, something like that. For the testing, is a little bit need more tools. I break down this two-part. Firstly, execution environment. It includes a simulator or the emulator and event injectors. I will explain you, and remote test lab and testing device. So we provide a simulator until 1.2 is what we call simulator, but this emulator lots of most of the features as your target device, like a network is connected, and the OpenGL hardware installation, multimedia, and you can use even the camera, the webcam. Use the webcam is emulated to the camera, the functionality is target phone. It's quite convenient. Even you comparing other platforms, the simulator, and your voice sometimes is you need a more faster simulator. At bada 2.0 is getting improvement. It's very getting to improve it. And we also think about emulator. Maybe most of you know what's different from the simulator. Emulator is more exactly watching, like considering about your CPU times and using the exact same binary with the target device and the emulator on your PC laptop. And the event injector is we are probably honest use event injector. It's some of you is already developed application, you're familiar with it. We integrate within tools you can simulate the events like just a message event, SMS event, and the map events like putting the GPS data through the location sensors of your code of your application, and the code, the event when you got a code, you can simulate it with the event injector, and lots of things is integrated. You can simulate the lots of event in a simulator, so you don't even need the target the kind of wave device. You don't need it to testing this kind of events. It's make more easier when you're testing with our testing environment. This is the way of testing on device. We have the way of testing on the device. Firstly, each actually connected with the USB and build up for the target thing and run with the target. That is just 2 or 3 clicks enough to loading your application on your target device. For another service, we prefer it for somebody doesn't have the device and somebody doesn't have the plan to buy the device for the testing. Is there somebody who don't want to buy a real device for the testing? No? Okay, everyone buy us the way for the testing. You don't need to remote testing lab. But there's somebody, maybe it's not a wall, but here, but somebody wants to testing device without actual real device. They can connect to the network. We prepare the large of a bunch of wave devices with the kind of captured screen. It's a kind of real-time streaming to your ID and simulator kind of. You very easy to use it. Same as loading the simulator with your application. It's about tools of testing. Maybe some very sophisticated things and things you need for the make your application be sure to work and to tell them your application working very well. It's good, good to you, buy it or something to the other maybe company, so the other peoples can from these testing things. Firstly, I just simply introduce the UI sequencer. It's recording your events after you loading of your application, target or simulator. You can record it. The event is recorded on the wrist. You can save it. You can do it again. Like 1,000 times. You don't need to 1,000 times doing the UI events generate by your hand. It's not, right? Somebody like it maybe 1,000 times by your hand, testing with your hand, but it can be automated. So we integrate our ID tools to do that with our UI sequencer. And the unit test. So everybody, familiar with the unit test, right? Yes, that's great. Thank you for the reflections. I like it. I very like it. There is no reflection. There is good reflection. Yes, guys, I don't know. Anyway, these things I like the unit test. I think everyone is need to the unit testing for that. So actually, this is the reason why you provide the unit test. There's 2 reasons. The first things, as you're maybe the company to make an application or some library and provide your application very working well to the other companies, people or some manager or something, then you need to prove with the unit test cases a lot. And they show that the unit test all the pass. Then it's assured that your application, your function is working very well, it's done test. Unit test, or you can do integrated test with testing tools. We provided with unit test framework, the bada. And second is written that some of them maybe use the much of the development process out there, and maybe in a small point of view, maybe some use hardly use the unit testing tools for the developing and coding times, like testing driver development in some kind of way. You use it. That is really a bunch of times you do unit tests every order your coding time, building time, at any time. And the other, maybe the process or the other development way is a lot of unit tests. So we prefer the unit test. But it's a C+ language. Somebody is guys worried about the C on the unit test on the C+ language is kind of a little bit different from the JUnit or some kind of other the unit test tool from out there. But it's not complex. Maybe the macro or the method of testing unit tests is little bit different, but very easy to understand. It's all the matches the same as the out there of the unit test. You can really familiar with it 5 or 10 minutes enough when you want the familiar with the other unit test stuff like general things. And this is pair of the unit testing tools, code coverage. We have the code coverage tools integrated with our IDE. Then you can with the code coverage, you got covered with the unit test code. All the area without red bar, that means your code all got covered with the unit test. That means all the functions is tested and it's more the wraps of your application running, and you can prove that. Yeah, you can make a library with the unit test code. Is it N? No. Okay, thank you. I like to talk some more. Yeah. So this is a pair, right? So with the code coverage tool, unit test, you don't need to buy it. You don't need to integrate with the open source. Anything else, it's integrated at all. So I like it much. I think you like it much of it. It's gonna be favorite one. And the memory usage checker. This is a very simple thing. When you want to just setting up just one of the two, the option box, then your application is ended. Then we show some kind of text message of the memory leaks about information about the memory leaks and memory status. Simply, you can find, you get a hint of where is the memory leaks is happened, so you can fix it very all the time. It's make your cost less because when you find a bug very early, you can fix very early time. Takes a long time. You takes a lot of time for finding memory leaks, the defects, the errors. It's very difficult to find it as a getting longer time. So it's useful. And two more tools is left. Is one thing is performance analyzer. It will be included at bada 2.0. It monitors and analyzes resource usage in detail. What resource means, for example, database and file, memory, registry, other, maybe UI things. It shows information like start time to loading the files, reading files, end of time the reading files, how many the bytes is deleted from the file, or the database, what kind of database script, SQL is executed at what time exactly is started and ended, what resources take it over. The older timeline, you can check what resource is getting used of the platform. So you can check it of your application. So you find true what's the exact point to what your application needs to fix it, right? How many times is got code of these functions? What function is dominated of the taking a time or the calling a lot of time? That's also point to improve your application's performance and optimize your application. Then that fixes hot point and organize optimize your hot fixes focused on that make your applications is performing better, right? So I told you many of the testing tools is quite enough, isn't it? It's quite enough? Yeah. If it's not enough, just tell me. Yeah, so I will take the platform kit to push it to make it, right? Right. Believe me. So after that, your testing done, and you convinced that your application is working very well. Only things is remaining there to do is deployment. Very easy. just one click, make a package. The package is coming up like this way, yes, and upload to the Samsung application store. They start to sell your application after certification process. I'm sorry, it takes time, but as for the user's view, need to see that feel relief when the old application got certificated to work very well. They don't want to install application working not very well or the harmful. So we do that for the customer and for you, right? So the packaging is simple to focus on these presentations. Sorry, Rajam talks other things. Yeah, just click one click is to make your workspace of the project. There will be the zip file. Zip file is your project is zipped, and the zip file is coming into your workspace of the project. Then you can upload that zip file to the Samsung store. Okay, everyone understand that? Okay, so you are now preparing for selling your application, right? Yeah. Well, in summary, I told you about the design phase of the UI builder, helping that, coding a little bit, helping that from the UI builder, building is simple, setting the properties, all that do, maybe some a little bit most likely to need it, but you need to handle the option. And testing, we prepared quite enough tools for you. Yeah, if you need more, just tell us or post it our bada forum at the developer site. We always consider your voice. And do deployment with one click and upload it to make a profit and share the value with your customer, share the value for us. Yeah, we are growing up, we share the value to you for, bring the more, customer to you for your bada applications, for your, the value for your imagination. So, is it playful? Everyone agree? Right? Agree? Somebody's agreed, but still not agreement. No? Okay, smiling is agreed, right? Yeah? Yeah, we agree, yes, I agree with it. Okay. So, I'm really proud we really got the first screening of the development environment. This is quite, we took all years to, prepare all the development tools. So it means if you want it, so we really fastly prefer you, because development environment is very helpful, but it should be for giving the convenience for the most of people. So this is kind of the things gonna be the strong point for helping developer to make application with our tools. This is will be one of our strong point, I bet. So please be with our development environment, bada. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you.